And now it is my pleasure to introduce you to our keynote speaker. Dr. David Frawley, as I mentioned to you, he really is the person who I hold responsible for everything this college is. He is the person I hold responsible for the development of a profession for Ayurveda here in the United States and really growing throughout the world outside of India. David Frawley is the teacher's teacher, not just of me, but of so many others whose lives he has touched, and they have gone on to teach so many other students. I met Dr. Frawley in 1991. And at that time in my life, I knew that I wanted to know more about healing. I was already a chiropractor, and I had been exploring other forms of alternative medicine. But when I began to learn about Ayurveda with Dr. Frawley, it wasn't as though I had to learn it. It was as though he gave me a language to remember it in my heart. And ever since then, I knew that I would be serving this knowledge, this profession, and doing my part to do what I could to support that vision of building an Ayurvedic profession in the United States. David Frawley has written really about 40 books on Ayurvedic medicine. What an incredible contribution, not just in the field of Ayurveda, really, but in all of the Vedic sciences. He is considered truly a master in India. He's received India's highest award, given out only to a few individuals by the government of India, recognizing his extraordinary contributions, called the Padma Bhushan Award. Only a handful of eminent scholars have received this award, and he is in the company of India's most well-known teachers. His 40 books have illuminated so many fields within the Vedic sciences: yoga, Vedic astrology, Ayurveda, even India's history. He has contributed to every field of study in India. And it's been an incredible honor for me to be in relationship with him all of these years, because like you, I was a student and he was my teacher. And even today, when I have a question, when something's not making sense, who do I go to? I go to Dr. Frawley, because he is the teacher's teacher. There is a well of knowledge inside of him that is so deep that I've only swam in the surface of those waters. And I share that with you because I want you to understand the incredible contribution that he has made and the incredible human being that he is. And so it's my honor today to bring Dr. Frawley here to honor all of you on this very, very special occasion of your graduation. Namaste.
Namaste, Shri Gurubhyo Namaha. It is my great honor to be with you for this very important event, not only for you, but for the future of Ayurveda in the United States and globally. One person can make a tremendous difference, and that person is you. One school can make a tremendous difference, and that school is CCA. I am always amazed by the work, the effort, the dedication that Dr. Halpern continues not only to put into the school, but into Ayurveda and healing overall for everyone on the planet and the planet itself. And how from his wonderful talk, he also introduced the deepest yogic spirituality, which is an integral part of Ayurveda. And I know you may not know how much work he's had to put into this school. A total dedication for all these, what now more than 25 years. I think he's been aware of, perhaps even thinking of the school, its programs, its teachings, even in his sleep, and certainly throughout the day. So I've not seen that dedication very often. In fact, I don't know if I've seen it at all relative to the people teaching Ayurveda in the West today. So it is my best wishes that this continues. Another year comes beyond this graduation, a continual redefinition and sharing of yoga and Ayurveda, all aspects of Ayurvedic healing, different stages of practice, different levels of learning, new books and teachings such as he has, so many audios, videos he has produced. He has become, you might say, a Ayurvedic, I don't even know what I can say. I mean, he's an Ayurvedic institution in his own right. And of course, you are part of that, which is also to be part of his mind and heart. I wanted to make a few general comments today. First, I wanted to make a few comments about the state of global Ayurveda today. And Ayurveda does continue to spread globally. Recently in India, they had what was called the G20 summit. It's the first time India had been the host of that, bringing all the major leaders and countries of the world. Joe Biden also met. He was given a special shawl by the Prime Minister of India, Narendra Modi. But the main thing that came away for our systems of medicine is they got all the G20 countries to accept a statement respecting and honoring and being willing to bring natural, traditional medicine into their country, whether from India or elsewhere, whether their own native traditions and so forth. I think this was the biggest global recognition per se, also endorsed by the World Health Organizations. And in India also, they've started the largest school and center for traditional medicine in Gujarat. Now, that being said, other developments, there has now been an acceptance of Ayurvedic programs from Brazil in India. And there's a good relationship between India and Brazil. And so there may be doctor programs coming out of those countries soon as well. And Ayurveda does have recognition outside of India. And curiously, the main part of the world it's gained recognition is the Middle East. You can become an Ayurvedic doctor via UAE, Dubai, Bahrain. I think they're also looking at Egypt eventually. And this is going to continue to grow. Some other friends of ours, a spiritual group called the Swami Narayan Mission, is building the first Hindu temple in the Middle East there in Abu Dhabi. They're also connected to Ayurveda. I may join them for that inauguration in February. Now, that being said, the situation in the United States is now also very important. Ayurveda has gone through the challenges of COVID. It's undergone the challenges of redefinition of medicine in the United States, and to the greater power and presence of the drug-based modern medicine. And I don't wish to criticize anybody here. All these systems of medicine have their place, but Ayurveda also has its integral role over all. And that we can see on another level, because the main issues we have today are being out of harmony with nature, being out of harmony with our own inner nature, and the ecological problems, now behavioral issues. We're no longer growing up in nature, we're being dominated by technology. I'm not saying that technology is bad. Without it, we wouldn't be speaking here today, but we must recognize and follow our natural heritage as well. You get prana from the sky, the sun, the moon, the waters, the mountains, natural foods, chanting, meditation. Whereas when we're just constantly caught up, not only in technology, media, but also in its view of the world and its reporting of course, all the troubles we have. And we have many troubles and difficulties today. We forget our cosmic connection, the universe that we are part of, and all the forces of nature that are with us and can be aroused within us, which all can be made into forces of healing. The universe is about healing and raising of consciousness. Even old age and death are natural processes that can be used for higher levels of transformation. And so we need to bring that vision back, and that is what Ayur is. Ayur is not just ordinary life and longevity. It is life in unity with all, and life in which we have the integration and alignment of our body, prana, senses, mind, Atman, with the universal being and the universal presence. So Ayurveda offers the world the most important and detailed and ancient system of behavioral medicine, right living, and right harmony with all, on top of which is built all the clinical therapies, not apart from them. That foundation has to be there, and that is what we need today as immunity is declining physically and psychologically. So Ayurveda is growing and spreading. It is something that we can share and give. We do know how to speak and do know how to speak it properly. And we need to be educators and counselors and not just practitioners or doctors. And I often tell my doctor friends that when you look at patients and you have all these medical tests, you have all this medical history, you know all the disease they've suffered from, you've missed something that is most crucial, that behind all of that medical knowledge and statistics is a real person, a real, unique, aware person living their own lives that you have to communicate with. When we even talk about diseases, hepatitis, diabetes, whatever you want to call it, there is no such thing as a disease in itself. It doesn't exist somewhere, have its own place. It is a dysfunction of a living person. So we must restore the living person, not simply eradicate the so-called disease. We see more Ayurvedic practitioners today, Ayurvedic products, herbs, oils, massage. These are growing. There, of course, are challenges. We are limited sometimes in the scope of what we can do, but we are expanding that and we are sustaining it. And I do believe we will be able to make positive changes to bring Ayurveda into more mainstream and core-based medicine in the near future and in the years to come, because our existing limited systems that reduce the human being to chemicals or diseases is not being effective as it should be. It certainly has its value in very acute conditions and injuries, but we must remember that the real change is how we feel, how we live. Behavioral issues are there, for, of course, for diseases like diabetes, but they're there to a great extent for all diseases. So as students, you are ambassadors of Vedic knowledge, Ayurveda. You are also helping transmit nature's healing forces. You are not just there to heal people yourself, and it's very important to awaken their own inner sense of healing and the healing forces in their own lives, and make their house, their home, their friends, their garden a healing center. They don't have to bring in patients, but they need to have that positive prana. And also your own mind. If you don't have the confidence, the faith, the motivation to bring in a higher force of healing and unity, then you're not going to be able to make yourself well or other people well. Disease is an incident. Well-being is our nature. All being is well-being. So just a few words of guidance and inspiration. Don't just look at the technicalities, have the positive spirit. You know, Ganesh Chaturthi is coming up soon, and we talk about overcoming obstacles. But you know, Ganesh is very smart. He doesn't just overcome obstacles, he knows how to deal with them. If you're driving down the road and there's a big ditch coming up and there's a barrier, you learn to go around the barrier. You just don't go plowing to break through the obstacle and get to the other side. So nothing is against us. No force of nature is against us, but we have to use it the right way. Whatever you do, whoever you are, whatever technology you have, it's going to be very powerful to make water. It's going to be very difficult to make water flow uphill. So it's better to learn how to use water flowing downhill and all these forces. So it's my sincere hope that all of you awaken that Ayurvedic spirit, yogic spirit that Dr. Halpern so well represents and the school so well embodies. We can overcome all these difficulties with a change of consciousness. Consciousness is the ultimate healing force. And it is our duty, not just as practitioners, but as spiritual beings, to bring a greater unity consciousness in the world. I just came back from the East Coast in New Jersey. There is this organization that I've worked with for a long time called Swami. They will be on the 8th of October inaugurating within an hour of New York and Philadelphia, a Hindu temple 230 feet high, hand-carved marble all the way through, beautiful statues of all sizes, marble coming actually special marble from Greece, and trying to represent such aspirations. They have another center, I think, in Pomona. It's a little smaller, but still a nice temple, Atlanta, Chicago. They have Akshardham, the largest temple in Delhi as well, where the Prime Minister of UK comes to visit, because they also have one in London. So it's that spirit of aspiration, that seeking of transcendence, that movement towards unity that we need. And if we connect to that, all the universe is behind us, all the sages are behind us, and we can let go of our personal power and anxiety and let that universal force come through us for the benefit of all, and embracing nature within us, our true self-nature, and all the nature around us. So thank you again, Dr. Halpern and CCA, for being a beacon of Ayurveda for United States and the Western world. And I look forward to seeing your light growing, your students expanding, and your legacy enduring for the centuries, like the great stone temples that we see. Shri Gurubhyo Namaha. Hari Om Tat Sat.